Hi there. It is time to talk about signatures. Let's take a look at the way some other artists have signed their pieces. Okay, this is a Pablo Picasso. So Pablo Picasso, famous painter. This, if you look at the corner, no, I just made it so you can't see it. There is his name. I won't even go down there with my little arrow. His name is down the corner, Picasso. And I did a little screen print here of all the different ways that he has signed his work. Typically, last name and a year, something that kind of gives it a timestamp. M.C. Escher, he did lots of prints. Okay, so prints are when you kind of carve into something and then you put ink on it. It's not always carving. Sometimes it is acids that eat through stuff, but we'll talk about that some other time. But you put ink on it and then you make prints over and over again, over many, many different prints. So when you do that, you need to keep track of the number. This was number 1 out of, I'm going to make 16, a total of 16. This is 2 out of 16, 3 out of 16. So there are a couple different ways that he signed his prints, right? So there's one there to the left that has just his initials. And then a numbering system. And then there's one to the right where he actually, in cursive, did his name with some more of the information about the time. I do have the arrow down below. It's pushing all the way over to the right to show you that this one is one with just his initials, and they're kind of in a block. Vincent van Gogh. I like showing you this one. Now, all artists do things differently, but notice on this one, the signature, and this happens a lot, is actually inside the art, but not so bold that it's taking away from the art itself. If you look closely, I've put an arrow and it's pointing to the Vincent that's actually on the vase. But notice the color that he used. He used a color that was from within the painting, not very many places in the painting, but it is in the painting, to kind of keep your eye from just getting stuck there. I did some other smaller versions where you can see him putting it inside of other paintings. Again, the color choice was important for, the colors that he chose to do his name. His name is Vincent van Gogh. What are we noticing with how he signed it? His first name, right? Not his last name like Picasso, not his first 2 initials and then his last name like M.C. Escher, or all 3 initials. So Vincent did his first name and he kind of hides it a little bit in his piece. Not so much that it becomes a big, bold thing. It's more like, hey, where is the name? Next, Eric Carle. We all know Eric Carle. He's famous for The Very Hungry Caterpillar and many, many, many other books. He is the author and illustrator. The illustrations are amazing. They are cut, painted papers. His name, when he signs it, pretty much almost always is the full Eric and Carle in cursive. And it pretty much, if you go look, it's going to look very similar every time. Signatures are pretty much that way. You come up with one, and then they're going to be the same pretty much every time. I wanted to show you a sculpture. So I know for myself, I have a different signature that I use on sculptures than I do on, say, a drawing or a painting. So this is Alexander Calder. He actually used to live right here in Connecticut for a while. He had a studio here, so kind of enjoy some of Calder's work. When he signs his piece, you're going to notice that it's kind of a mixture between cursive and printing. So, some of it seems like it's kind of cursive and connected, and other ones of them seem like they're just printing. But then if you'll notice, so this is a big sculpture that is in Chicago, huge, right? Gigantic. And it's made of metal. A lot of the sculptures were made with metal. So instead, the signature is stamped in there, and you're going to notice just as it's a stylized C and A, and also including the 62, that would be the year 1962. So you might have a different signature for something that is a sculpture versus something that is a painting or something that's a drawing. Just a little reminder before I leave, you almost forgot. When you sign your art, the signature becomes part of the art. It's part of the artwork. You notice in Vincent, he really makes it part of the artwork. So make sure you're going to try out many ways. Here's the thing, you can change it in the future, but maybe the one that you come up with is the signature that other people search for to try to find your art in the future, just like I did to try to find these famous artists' work. It is going to be a big deal when you all become famous. These signatures that you choose, and even if they change, people are going to want to look at these things from third grade. You may not think they're going to, but they are when you're that famous artist.
Okay, it's time for you to start on your signature. You need some paper, pencil, an eraser. I like to fold my paper up so that I can create small different sections, right? So that was 4 folds I got myself. 16 different spots. Not 16 though, if you flip it over, there's a whole another 16 on the back. I'm going to draw the line so you can see. Now, first thing I'm going to do is write down all the different ways I can do my name. I'm Miss Szymanski. I am also Barbara. Not a fan of Barbara, but that's it. I prefer Barb. I also have been known to be called Barbie by my grandma. My middle name is Elizabeth, and my initials are B, E, S. So these are all the different ways. So the first thing, write down all the different ways. Now I'm just going to start having fun. So B, Szymanski, cursive. I like cursive. All right, now I'm just going to go B, and I'm going to do the Barbara in cursive inside the B. What if I do Barbara printed next to the B? What if I just go do Barb, which I prefer inside my B this time? Szymanski. What if I do Szymanski inside the S? Ooh, it's kind of long, doesn't really fit. Oh, I moved my paper off the edge. But I'm going to try again Szymanski because I didn't like it when it went outside. So I had it halfway in, halfway out. But what I saw is, ooh, I like that connection. That was by accident. Let me go do it on purpose. So let me try a B that travels into an S. Ooh, I like that. But not quite the B. It's not stylized enough. Let me try to kind of curve my B a little bit more to match my S. Liking that. Let me keep going. What else can I do? Again, a little overlap, just my initials B, then S. But I've been doing all uppercase. What about lowercase? What if I try some B's with lowercase? Ooh, this is not my signature, but maybe in the future I switch. I like that. All right, all my initials. Let's keep doing more initial stuff, more like the MC Escher with his initials. What if I mix uppercase and lowercase? I like that. What if I do something where they're not next to each other, but inside each other? What if I do something where they are not letters at all? See it B, like bzz, B, who's going to sting you? Still thinking. What if I do letters stacked, right? I've had letters inside each other. I've had letters next to each other. Letters diagonally from each other. So many different ways to do your signature. Hopefully what you're noticing from all this is there are many, many ways to play with your first name, your last name, your initials. You are looking for something that you like drawing and you like the way it looks and it represents you. It's your signature. Now keep sketching. You could do 100, right? Keep going until you get one you like. Before I leave, these are mine. This is for drawing or painting, and for sculptures, I do an S and a B. So I start with my S, I add on the back curve of the B, an extra curve in the front for the B, a line for my lowercase e, and I add the date in, right? You practice, come up with your final signature so we can sign some things.